Morning, YouTube. Just another day here at the shop. So I just wanted to talk about something. So a few days ago, actually on last Friday, so I get this truck here. It's a F350 custom. It's a work truck. The guy's had it for 17 years. He's turning it into a service truck, and he's got some add-ons. It's a double tank diesel. He's got one of the tanks taken out. He's got an extra tank in the bed of the truck, but it's for gasoline, and he also has an air compressor that he added to the truck. And his complaint was that the air compressor didn't work, and he wanted me to get that in good working order. Also, the parking brake was staying on, even when you released it, and he wanted an oil change. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm kind of into it because I started my career doing small engine repair. That's where I learned about cars. I didn't build any cars with my dad or anything like that. I didn't, nothing like that. I learned, fixing lawnmowers and weed eaters and a little bit of tractors and stuff to that effect. But anyways, so I'm pulling the truck in, and long story short, I won't get into the whole story. I was messing with the compressor and then pulled the truck in more. Anyways, the truck caught on fire. Where it started smoking real bad, right? So I popped the hood. I got the fire extinguisher ready. A whole bunch of smoke coming out of the engine compartment. It smells like burnt electrical, burnt oil, burnt everything. I look under the truck, and there's like a puddle of rubber or plastic or whatever. It's a pile of plastic that's on fire. And I'm like, okay, that's really no big deal right there. I kind of stomped that out, and nothing else appears to be on fire. But what I can see down in the engine compartment is there is something is glowing red, and it's maybe like a foot long or something glowing red. And I'm thinking, okay, that's the source. It's a wire shorted out. It got hot. That's a cable, right? Let me back up some. When I was pulling the truck in, I noticed that the voltage regulator, or the voltmeter inside the truck, it was between 8 and 10 volts. So I was like, okay, there's going to be some sort of electrical problem, right? Because it's a double battery diesel truck. And when I saw the compressor, this guy's a contractor. He's not it's not a service truck for mechanics. I know there was like some, the wiring was all fucked up on the compressor in the back. And I'm gonna show you the wiring in a little bit, what I pulled off. But anyways, so I lift the truck in the air, and upon further inspection, I realized that was not a wire that was glowing red hot and just didn't have any insulation on it anymore. It was actually the metal diesel line that goes from the tank to the mechanical fuel pump. And I kind of like that section of metal line is maybe like 4.5 feet or something like that, and then it goes rubber, and then more metal, and more rubber. It kind of it switches it up going to the fuel tank or whatever. But that kind of like I was really upset. I recommended a complete rewire of the truck after seeing that there were grounds that were completely burnt through and melted with like the metal. There were like droplets of metal that were how do you say it? They're hard now, but they look like drops of water, except it's hard metal dripping off the wires. So pretty much the truck almost caught on fire. Everybody in the shop is fine. Nobody got hurt. But I recommended a complete rewire on the truck, and You know, I quoted 12 hours of time minimum just for the rewire, because we don't really know, you know, what's what. It's, you know, it's going to be a lot of diagnostic time. He's got a lot of extra add-ons and stuff like that. A whole rat's nest of wires or stuff that's not even connected to anything. You know, I wanted to clean everything up, get everything out of there that's not connected to anything. You know, make it easier for the next time somebody has to work on the vehicle. This guy's, you know, he's, like I said, he's had it for 17 years, but he's planning on, you know, putting a lot of work into it, you know, getting a lot of work out of it and keeping the truck as long as possible. You know, it's got like 200 and something thousand miles. I don't know. Anyways, it's a diesel. It'll go forever, you know, as long as he maintains it. But, yeah, I guess I'm going to get to showing you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the truck right here, this F350. I'm going to take a little tour of this truck. Here's some, oh, well, these are brake cables. I redid the brake cables for the brakes because those are what was, you know, holding it up. But as you can see, there's a whole pile of wires that wasn't connected to nothing. You know, it's a Kohler compressor, and then he's got that gas tank in the back. You know, it's your standard F350. There's, you know, tape on it, and I guess he just got it painted or whatever. Anyways, this is the truck. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, what I'm waiting for the customer to come in so I can talk to him what I can take out. Like he's got an old school, you know, under the little carpet that's on the dash, he's got an old school radar detector, and, you know, like he's got like extra lights in the ceiling. He's got, you know, wiring and switches for, you know, spotlights that have been removed, and, you know, he's got a you know, he's got an aftermarket radio in there, but I don't think he has any speakers, you know. So I just want to find out, you know, everything. So these are the wires here that I'm replacing. Yes, this wire right here is conduit, and this is pretty consistent with what I found on the truck. You know, he had, you know, a friend, I don't know if it was a friend, but he had somebody wire it. There was a lot of housing wire used, you know, that isn't multi-strand braided. It's just solid line. You know, you guys know you can't use that in automotive application because the vibration, it'll, you know, the wires will break easier. This happens to be, I asked him about the conduit, and he said, oh yeah, they just put the metal sleeve over it to protect it, right? But I pulled this fucking ground off. I don't know if you can see how thick those strands of wire are. Yeah, okay. This is high voltage fucking line right here. But, you know, like a lot of this shit has just, you know, it's decomposed. There's a lot of resistance in all the wires. I'm just, you know, I'm rewiring the batteries pretty much, the starter, the alternator, everything. This is, you know, my bucket of wires. But then, like I said, there were a lot of wires that were regular, you know, housing wires, and then he has ground wires that are different sizes from the power wires. And this truck is just a mess. You know, I'm not claiming to be the expert on electrical, but you know, I know some basic shit. Anyways, that's what I got going on for today. My daughter is going to be born tomorrow, so I'm going to be out of the shop until you know, I'm taking we don't work, our shop isn't open on the weekends, so I'm taking you know, Thursday, Friday, and Monday off. You know, we got 3 other kids, so, you know, I got to get them to school and everything while my wife is in the hospital. She's having a C-section. So, you know, this will be kid number 4. You know, oh, so anyways, I had the customer come in one day, and, you know, I kind of showed him everything and explained to him what happened, and he said, no problem, get the work done. You know, before I got a chance to talk to the customer, I refused to do any work on the truck. To my boss, I told him I'm not even going to look at the brakes or you know, do the oil change, because if this guy doesn't want to do the work, there's no, you know, that's wasting his money. And you know, I let my boss know, like, you know, he can't fucking drive this truck. We'll push it out in the street and he can have a tow truck come get it, you know. But you know, I told him, if you know, if the dude tries to drive the truck, that he needs to call the highway patrol and report the guy, because you know, he's going to end up killing himself or someone else, you know, which isn't cool. You know, if he wants to kill himself, okay, that's fucking on him. But you know, driving on the road, that's, you know, that's something completely different. So you know, so anyways, the guy said, you know, do whatever to get the truck running. He approved the time. You know, so I'm just waiting for him. You know, I got all those main wires out, you know, just to you know, update the you know, the charging system, and you know, to rewire the compressor in the back. Oh, and I'm doing an alternator on the compressor too. The alternator was frozen. It doesn't work. That was probably one of the main problems, because I tried to start the compressor a few times. The wires were super hot to the touch after I did that, and fucking drove the truck, you know. Crazy. I'm fucking happy to be alive. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just waiting for him to come back, and the customer to come back and let me know what's what. You know, I got a request. You know, the video that I did yesterday about that you know, custom tool, I don't know, it's not really a tool, but it's, you know, it's what I came up with to use to flush out heater cores. So you know, I got a request to do a video on that, how I use the tool, and you know, that will be upcoming as soon as I got a car that I'm doing a cool like some sort of cooling system service on. I will definitely you know, I'll do a quick video of that, since, you know, since I'm already doing a service on the car or whatever. So hopefully, you know, it probably won't be today, and it won't be the next few days, since, you know, I'll be back and forth from the hospital and taking care of the kids and stuff like that. I'll be out of work. But you know, as soon as I come back, you know, my boss is gracious enough. He's going to pay me for the time that I'm out, which is really nice. If you guys saw my video, maybe a week ago, his wife had bought us a gift, you know, like a gift bag for the baby, with a blanket and, you know, some other, you know, like a grooming kit and a little book and some washcloths, some other necessities. You know, it was a real nice gesture. I appreciate it a lot. You know, it makes me feel good to know that I work for a company that's like that. So anyways, I guess I'll wrap it up. I got to get back to work. Just wanted to make this video real quick and check in, and hopefully I'll be making some new videos while I got this time off. So look for that. All right, have a good day, YouTube.